So I'm pleased to welcome you for presenting the Web Wizards, a new tool we have from the Patton side. So we will get started directly. Again, my name is Mark Eberhardt. I'm the product line manager of voice over IP products at Patton. With me today, we have Tanya Barbato. So she is a product marketing manager responsible for Western Europe, and she will be assisting me for today's webinar.
Hello, everybody.
Good. Hello, Tanya. Good
Hello.
morning. Good afternoon. So then I think we can get started here. So okay, then just let me do one thing here. So good, perfect. Here we go. So to get started, I want to give you a quick overview about the details or the content of this webinar. So a few words about Patton product deployment. So we want to just give you a quick update, refresher on the different methods and how a Patton product can be deployed, configured, and so on. Then, of course, the main thing we want to talk about today, the Web Wizard, what this is all about, how it works, and how the Patton online community works, how it's set up. Then we want to give you use cases there in order to show you how to use the Web Wizard, in which cases it can be useful, it can save time for you to do installs. And then towards the end, we want to highlight again the advantages of the online platform, of the so-called community platform we have. At the end, we want to do a Q&A session if there are still some questions around. However, during the presentation, feel free to post any question using the panel on your right-hand side of the tool we are using here. Good, then let's get started here. So in terms of Patton product deployment, so as you know, up to today we have the web interface, the graphical user interface, so-called GUI, to configure a smart node, and we have the CLI, the command line interface. So as you can see from a complexity level, the web interface is a bit easier for a product to be configured, and if you go to the down to the CLI, this is more complex, but it also gives you a little bit more features for a unit to be configured. So now what we said, how can we make it easier for you, for all your customers configuring a Patton product? So that's where we said, well, we want to do a simple thing here, and that's what we call the Web Wizard. So why a Web Wizard? So Patton products are known to be feature-rich, but that makes it also complex to configure a Patton product, a Patton device. So we said, well, with the Trinity operating system, the new operating system we have on certain products, it enables us to provide new ways in making a configuration easier. Also, we said it would be good to have a centralized platform where configuration templates could be shared. So what are the functions of a wizard? A wizard is providing a simple GUI for the installer, for the user, setting up a Patton device, which can be application specific, which makes it simple and easier to do a configuration on a device. Now, what a wizard is doing as well, it's generating a config file for either a Trinity or a smartware device. Now, who is creating those wizards? So besides the Patton technical staff creating such wizards, it can be network technicians, VoIP specialists, with having know-how about the technology, not necessarily know-how about Patton products in detail, but really technology know-how, or it can be smartware certified engineers. So if any one of you in this webinar today feels like, well, I'm holder of a smartware certified certificate, so feel free to request to become a creator, which is something I'll explain to you later on. So these people, as I just outlined, these are the ones we are calling the creators. Okay, good. Then let's move on here. So I just want to highlight again what we have up to today. So this may looks familiar to you. So that's a so-called example of a config template, which is text file based. So whatever you got that config template from an integrator, for instance, or if you downloaded it from our website. So this is the way how a configuration was possible to be prepared to simplify and install. On the other hand, as you know, or as you may already have experienced, this way of setting up a device provides quite a high potential for failures, or it's not really intuitive, which overall makes it complicated to do a configuration. So imagine if you just put in one digit at the wrong place, it can mess up the entire config and you wouldn't be able to reach the unit by its IP address, for instance. So what we said, well, how can we make this simpler? So we said, well, so we just want to put a graphical web interface on top of that configuration template, which is what we call the web wizard, and which, by the way, looks like this. So what it is doing, it's really making it simpler for a configuration template for the user, not having a deep know-how in Patton products or in the technology. What it's providing here, as you can see, it's providing help texts. So in order to indicate what that field is being used for, it also has the possibility to provide default values, such as the IP address, as you can see here. And it's really an easy thing by providing a walkthrough configuration approach by clicking the next button.
But Mark, let me ask you quick. Does that mean that our customers don't need the web GUI anymore? Or is the web GUI still needed?
Well, so the web GUI, as I explained at the beginning, that's still required. So really with the web wizard here, what we're doing, it's providing a simple, easy and fast way to do a initial setup of a device. So once a device has been set up, there's still a requirement, let's say, to do modifications to the config. Then still the web interface or the CLI might be used at that stage. So it's really for a simple and fast initial setup of the device.
Okay, thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Then let's go a little bit closer to give you also a view behind the curtains here, what this wizard is doing. So what it is all about, it's a XML-based file, which consists of two fields or two sections inside that file. So at the bottom you can see there we have the config template, which is really the same structure or the same way as it's used to be up to now. So where you have placeholders which will be filled with a value being entered on the graphical user interface. So that's the thing you can see on the upper part, the GUI part. So that's the XML script actually, which is describing all the fields which are going to be displayed to the user or to the installer on the graphical user interface. So if you think, well, that sounds easy, or that looks nice, so you can, as I said before, request to become a creator, and then you can start creating such wizards by your own.
And as soon as you create such kind of wizard, you as the creator, as Mark said before, if you want to be one creator, you and the Patton staff can upload those files to our online community platform. From there, you will be also able to download or execute the web wizard. That means that the web wizard can be also uploaded before, and then the users go to the online community and download it or execute it from there.
Right, exactly. So what this looks like, or what the options look like in detail, what Tanya just said. So being at that community platform on the Patton web page, you can either execute a wizard online, which will generate you a config file to be imported on either a smartware device. So it depends in which way that wizard has been created, or it will generate you a config file to be imported on a Trinity device. So that's option number one you have when you are on the Patton website using the online wizard version.
Mark,
the other option,
we should here clarify if the wizard file also works for Trinity and smartware devices or just for one device.
Right. So generating a config file online, it can work for either a Trinity or a smartware device. So, and concerning the second part I'm about to explain here, that only works for Trinity devices. So that means you can download the entire XML-based wizard file, download it to your PC, from there upload it onto a Trinity device, and then again on the Trinity device you can execute that wizard in the same manner as I just explained you before in order to generate a config file for the Trinity device. And that happens then all locally on the device itself. So really the second part I just explained you only works for Trinity devices, downloading and uploading the entire XML-based wizard file. However, executing the wizard online on the Patton website can, depending on how the wizard has been written, generate a config file for either a smartware or a Trinity device.
Okay, thank you. So I think we can have a look now at the community platform where all those web wizards are stored. So as you can see on the right top, you can find out if you're logged in. And on the left side of the community platform, you can see your membership. In this case, Mark is a user. But as we said before, if you have already installed a lot of smart nodes and configured it, you can click on the submit creator request and someone from our team will reply to this request and you can start creating those wizards. At the bottom, we can see all the smart node IDs. And also, I forgot to mention, you can click on the user profile, where as user you can see the recently downloaded files and the recently showed web wizards. Good, so let's move on. If we click, for instance, let's say on the Smart Node 5530, Smart Node 4130, exactly, so there will pop up the web wizards which were created for this category. As you can see on the top, you can find the title, below is the description, the author, and then the keywords. Also, we have three buttons, the Run Wizard and Download Wizard. But I think, Mark, you can give us more details on those two buttons, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So actually, by explaining you the two functions we have here, Run Wizard and Download Wizard, I want to give you a I want to start explaining that to you by taking a use case as a reference. So use case number one is when you go on site to a customer doing the install, so then you may want to do the following. So clicking on Run Wizard, it will open up you the wizard GUI, where you can put in all the customer related credentials matching for that application you want to do the install for. So whether this is the zip username, or whether it's an IP address, or whether it's BRI port settings. So you do that on the wizard as it's being displayed here. So once you think, well, I'm done with entering all the values for that wizard, you can click preview. So it will give you the text file view of what will be loaded into the startup config of that device. And once you think, well, that all looks good, you can hit save, which will do the following. So there will be a pop-up window asking you to save the config. So you'll save that config on your PC, and what you'll do next, you will connect to the smart node, to the web interface. So there, as you know, go on Import Export. Then again, go to the tab called Import Configuration, and then do browse for the file you previously downloaded and hit Import. So once that file has been loaded into the startup config, as you know, click on Reload and the device will be configured. So that's pretty easy. Good. So then the next use case I want to show you is use case number 2, which is when you, for instance, will be, or for instance, if you are a value-added reseller and you want to pre-configure the device which you intend to send to the customer. So you would do the following. So you would go and click to download the web wizard, which will again result in a pop-up window like this. You will save the file locally on your PC, and then as a next step, you will connect to the Trinity device and go for importing the wizard config. So that will look like this. Again, a new window where you'll browse for the downloaded XML-based wizard file. Once that is done, you will actually be done with your work, what the preparation is concerned. So you could send the unit to the customer site, where then again the customer or the installer being on site will unpack the Trinity device you shipped previously, and from there they will connect to the device, which will look like this. So they will find a magic wand on the top right of the web interface. Clicking on that, it will open up the list of web wizards which have been preloaded on that device. So selecting the one we uploaded before, it will again result in the same look and feel as we saw it before in many cases. Now, what the customer or the installer would do here is they would go and complete the rest of the configuration. So maybe you remember the text file based config template running behind of that wizard. So here it's really just completing that file by entering the values for that customer. Once they hit save, the unit will be rebooted and the config will be applied and the customer is ready to go and do phone calls.
Yeah, Mark, but as we said, the web wizard can be used for Trinity devices and for smartware devices. I mean, a lot of our customers still have smartware devices. Could you please let us know which option they have to use for configuring a smartware device? Is it just Run Wizard or Download Wizard?
Yeah, that's a good point. So it's really for smartware devices, it's really the Run Wizard function which applies, and for Trinity devices, it's both. So for a Trinity device, you can do the Run Wizard to generate you a config you may want to import later on to the Trinity device, or you can download the entire wizard and upload that onto the Trinity device. So really, for smartware, it's just a Run Wizard, and for Trinity, it's both.
Okay, thank you. And I mean, if our users have still some questions, they can click on the third button, the comment field, which will look like this. You can, I mean, it could be, but we don't think it will be that problem, that there will be a mistake on the web wizard, or if something is not clear, or if you want to ask if you can use the same wizard for other devices, just add there a comment. The creator of this wizard will receive your email and he will reply to you as soon as possible. As you can see, this platform has a lot of advantages. I mean, for you, we wrote here the 4, let's say, the more important advantages. So you have one platform with all configuration templates for your customers. You can use it, or also you can let your customers know where they can go and take some wizards. You can save time and money on installations because the configuration is easier, the configuration is quicker, and you can profit from know-how of more than 100 certified smart node specialists all over the world. So you can find, as you can see, you saw before, we have already some web wizards, but there will be increasingly more. So just go there and find out which one will fit best for you. And as I said, this configuration template library is totally for free. The only thing you have to do is go to patton.com/wizard and get your login today. Good. I think more or less that's all from the Web Wizard side and the Web Wizard community platform. So I would say feel free to ask any questions if you have, or I don't know if Mark would like to add some additional notes here.
No, I think that covers it for what we wanted to show you today. So thank you, Tanya, for this. And I think we're ready to go through some questions that came up during the presentation. So Tanya, if you may want to
Sure.
go through some of those and see that we can
There was a question,
answer them.
a good question, which before we started with this project. So someone asked, why should I add my own configuration template? So you're not adding, in this case, or a creator, you as a user can only download and execute the wizards. So you are just creating a template for your customers to use to make it easier to configure. You're not just putting online the whole configuration with all your details. So you will profit as a creator. They profit from know-how to share their know-how. They can help their customers, and their customers can also use the templates which are online from all the others. I don't know if Mark would like to add, but I think that was more or less the...
Right. I think, yeah, you made a good point there. So it's not a entire config, as you said, Tanya. So it's a template. And from experience, let's say, we know that really a lot of customers, they are using, let's say, configs or templates. They're asking for templates for again and again the same application. So that's really where we said, well, we should do something there to make it simpler. So up to now, you can find text file-based config templates on our knowledge base, but there it proved that really in many cases it caused some issues. For instance, if someone will type in a wrong value into one or the other placeholder, so that this was causing issues, which generated then again calls and emails to our support team. And really with this, we wanted to make it simple by using the graphical user face approach, and really it's a template and it's not an entire config file. Good. Then I think we have some other questions here. So Lukas is asking about how many about the security running an online wizard, concerning passwords and so on. So that's actually a good point. So we can assure that there is no data being stored on any servers here at Patton. Another point is this tool is exclusively running on Patton environment, so it's not running in a cloud where whatever third party would see any data of this. And the other part is it's using a secure connection, so it's an SSL connection using HTTPS. So in that aspect, it's secure. Then we have a question from, again, another Lukas here in the audience. So who is asking, can I create my own wizard? Of course, you can do so. So once you're logged in, you can hit the button request to become a creator if you wanna share that wizard with the community. However, you can even go ahead right now, start creating a wizard by taking the programmer's guide as a reference.
Yes, exactly. And then we have another question from Roman. Is there a run wizard option for the SmartNode 46 device? So there are several web wizards already online, Roman. Just have a look at it. And if it's not there, I'm sure it will be there in the next months or so, because we just launched it. And just keep on looking at the web wizard. Maybe there is already one, but if not, I'm sure someone will create one. Good.
So there's another question from Ali. Ali is asking if this wizard is for all Patton devices. So the answer there is, let's say yes. It depends for what the web wizard was created for. That's first thing. And then he has a second question asking what to do if at the customer side no internet access is available. It's actually a good point. So if there are sites where this is true, so there we would recommend for you to do the configuration before you leave the office to run the wizard from your office, and then have it generate a config file you want to import later on when you go on site to the customer.
Good. Then we have another question from Tjerk Peters. Does Patton check the templates on functions? What about non-working templates? How do we recover from the virus template? So I think I make the first part, Mark, and you can do the second part.
Okay, let's do that.
Good. So the templates, I mean, that's why the creators are only certified smart node specialists so far, because they really know how to configure it. And we really want to offer this quality to all users like you. And of course, at the beginning, our support team or our team will check those templates.
Right, exactly. And there's another thing, if you're creating a wizard and if you want to upload it, there is a check being made by a script running in the background if that wizard is running. So it won't be possible for you to upload anything which will not run from an XML perspective. So there is some checks being done. Okay. Then what else do we have? So
there was a question from Davide asking, from Lucas. Can I place wizard on my web server? May you reply, Mark, to that?
On my own web server, I don't really know what the application would be behind this, but I would say generally yes. So you can do whatever you like with that wizard in order to have it being downloaded to a Trinity device. So of course you would also have the option to provision those web wizards, provision then automatically or in an automated way to a Trinity device. So I would say we can answer this with yes.
So, and Davide asked also if the wizard can be used for any Patton Smart Node or for the ones listed before. So right now we have the wizards ready for the products listed before. But actually, we can afterwards use it for all smart nodes or Trinity devices, as Mark already explained.
Right, exactly. Okay, so do we have anything else?
Just the last question, I would say, from Herv. Will there be integration with the Patton redirect service where you run the wizard, add the MAC address, and when the Patton runs the provisioning, it can receive the config from the redirect server?
That's actually a good and interesting point. So, but of course, we also thought about this already. So that's something which is not there yet, but it's certainly something we're looking into more closely in order to provide again a better user experience and a better ease of use for faster installs. So it's as I said, it's not there what you're asking for, but it's something we're looking into closely. So stay tuned with us for any upcoming newsletter or webinar when we will have some news in that respect.
Good. I think.
Okay, so I think
that's all.
This is it probably. So as we're also running out of time, so we're 3 minutes over already, but I see there are still a lot of people in the webinar, so that's perfect. Anything else, Tanya, from your side you wanted to add or
I think that's
cover?
all. Just saying to František that yes, you will receive the presentation. It will be also online, also the recording. We will let you know. And if you have any additional questions or questions which were not answered yet, please feel free to send Mark or to send me an email. We will be more than happy to reply. And yeah, I hope that you can use or you will use this tool because it's really a great new tool to save time on installations.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tanya. Yes, so I see there is one or the other question that came up in the meanwhile, so we'll get back to you on those, and we'll be glad to also see you again in any upcoming webinar, so stay tuned for any invitation you might get from our side. Good, and with that said, I think we can wrap up the webinar. So thanks again for joining. Thanks for your time and your attention, and we're looking forward to seeing you again soon. So we're wishing you a nice rest of the day wherever you are, a nice afternoon, a nice evening, and talk to you and see you the next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.